So we find ourselves now in video 2. I tried to make some updates to the puppet with the mouth area. I'm not going to do the hair just yet, but you see the time it takes for the wrist to keep up with the hands. I'll be working on that soon, but for now, one of the things that I'm trying to do is to get the mouth to be more responsive, but in any case, right now it's not doing that. So I figured I'd start off with the first thing that I wanted to do, which is to read some of the poetry I've got here in front of me. You'll have to kind of work with me on the camera thing here. So, first poem that started off this whole adventure, this journey, was May 13th, 2020, titled Butter Biscuit. This was something that at the time, uh, obviously this is about a month after COVID lockdowns really started here in the US, and trying to find things to occupy the time. So there was a website called Poetizer that had just started not too long before that. Um, they had what do they call it, an angel investor. I guess that was starting off the process with them, and great website, great service. I was very pleased with them until they started charging for posting accounts and things. So that's when I had made my exit from them. But until that point, it was a very useful, decent community, I think. Obviously, unlike, or not unlike other communities, they had their, you know, strange crowd of people that would come in and try and ruin the experience for everyone else. In any case, for those that were sort of immune, I guess, to that sort of crap on the internet, it was a decent website. It still is, I would imagine. I don't pay to participate in something like that. So uh, they helped me out. They started a pretty interesting journey of mine, and I'd like to read the first poem that was posted on the website. It's not the first one I ever wrote, but it's one of the ones that started the process. May 13th, 2020. Title of the poem, Butter Biscuit. It's never been about the, never mind. I only want to show all these words, but you know what? Fine. I just can't imagine why the time I take to really just cut off mid-sentence like a child, do what you want, no one cares. I only want to finish writing something worth my time to show the world the power of words and warn them when the warm worthiness worries of worth are hoarding the truth. You're worth more. I know what I want, but I can't define it. The passionate passions of passive possessions portrayed pitifully by passing blame to me for being lame. In a crowd, it's all the same. Anonymously announcing online pseudonyms with antique retribution for human affairs a shadow. Love is the unannounced way, the Tao. One cannot fathom the faceless virtues of forgettable follies, the joyous fluff of mental masturbation masquerading as manliness under a veil of white nationalist capitalist marmalade. You lost me. We lost everything when we feigned popularity for a few likes in exchange for fame. We all lost. No one gets away. No one gets the way. Words are but the only tools we have to show pictures, to build the stage. We can only hope that one day our poetry will pave the way, maybe show a clear path to cure desperately the need for self-actualization and breaded beer-dipped, deep-fried butter biscuits. Now you get it. Just promise me one thing, love. Sure. Never stay too far away. End. Right, now we're gonna snap. Okay. Um, so this was the first of quite an interesting road that I went down. Um, One of the things that's difficult to articulate when presenting, mm, whether it's this form or even reading in a slam poetry or something like that, is um, the experience of the poem changes when spoken versus when read versus when somebody else reads it to you versus things like that, because the text itself is emboldened. There's italics, there's periods, commas, colons, semicolons, dashes, hyphens, em dashes, n dashes. I mean, there's all kinds of techniques to present poetry, right? So reading it doesn't always give you the same experience as like actually hearing it or watching it performed or something like that. So one of the techniques that I tend to use when I write is I'll make bold, or I'll do italics, or I'll switch between the three. Um, and it does change when you're reading because you're supposed to read it as like two different voices. Um, so as another example, this is Internal Dialogue 1, May 18th, 2020. Once I get what I want, I will want more. You can't satiate my needs. Everything I can possibly flaunt capitalist gore. You can't placate my greed. Monetary currency and blank note porn. When did you change? I've always been this way. No, you're just poor. In what way? You lack kindness and more. Humor me, please. Just listen to me. So you can kind of end, by the way, right? You can kind of get like there's this back and forth dialogue, and I mean it's not traditional, prose, right? We're not doing the four square, four by four nonsense. I'm very much a free verse writer. I will do anything that structurally will impact the way something is read. A lot of alliteration, that's something that I tend to do a lot of. I've gotten some decent comments about that. Much appreciated to those that like alliteration. But from what I gather when I'm doing these writings is it's all about visualization. There's a theme, there's an essence, maybe a color, um, something along those lines. Um, I'm not so much into the story part of it. The story comes later when you compile all of the different poems together into one big story, right? But in each one, there's a particular message or a theme. I'll give you another one. It's very short. This one is called Haircuts, dated June 3rd, 2020. If the average person lives to be 85 and received one haircut per month since birth, then 1,020 cuts total means I have just 648 left. End. Snap, 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 right? So this is not really a poem, right? It's more of a like a weird sentence. It's not even a haiku. It doesn't even truly count, but poetry is what it is, right? This is the essence of the project is to bring to life some of these things that are in my mind at the time. So these stem all the way from May 2020, and the latest of the series, which became the book that got printed, was September of 2021. This one is titled The Final Message. Um, this was right around the time that I was getting not bored, but I was transitioning the story elements from Regee to another, which was Sora, as I've mentioned in a previous video. And if you dig through the website, you'll see some things. So, final message, September 12th, 2021. The loneliest day of my life was today. Up until this point, everything felt so connected. I've been severed from the world, disconnected. I can't imagine my life without someone. I can't imagine my life with someone. I can't imagine my life. I've lost something. It's gone, whatever it was. There's a piece of the puzzle missing somewhere. I'm robotic. My archives deleted. expunged, wiped. I don't know what's difficult anymore. The only thing I can think about is work. I have drowned myself in labor, fixed myself 16-hour workdays for 20 years. I have nothing to show for it, no creative drive left. The world is shit. I've shoveled enough of it, yet gained nothing from it. There's no value in trusting it. I've only been hurt with immeasurable consequence. This will be my last post. I'm done with this. My legacy on this platform will remain indefinite. There's a plethora of stories contained within. The trick is to start from the beginning. Hidden gems and secret ends. Not everything posted is time ordered, so dig in. I tell the story of a time-traveling AI named Reggie. His final post. This. Snap, 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 snap. Right, there you go. So, among other things, this was, in my mind, the character, Reggie, myself, had developed into a certain point with evolution through AI and things, which, if you recall, around that period, 2021, ChatGPT was kind of like just, becoming mainstream, not quite fully there, but not unknown. I don't remember if it had quite broken the surface like it did later, but it was just at the beginning. So the essence of the character that I was trying to develop was around this concept. So there's this embedded love story, right? Reggie is searching for Sora, and Sora is out there somewhere. So poetically, of course, one of the things that I ended up doing was creating that character and conducting all of the written poems that Sora issued. Her path in this storyline was uh, she's immortal, essentially by accident, but uh, lives with the consequences. So the perspective is this person who's been living for a very long time. There's a lot of back and forth, right? Reggie's looking for her, she's looking for herself, she's looking for Reggie, she's also looking for someone named Sarah that came out later. Um, so this is one from July 22, 2023 called Immortal Love Mortal. It's a shorter thing and I changed styles a little bit because obviously the two characters can't really speak the same, right? So this one is interesting. But bear in mind the perspective of an immortal seeking something, right? It hurts so much that I can't love her. Her time so short to immortals, it's improper of me to run cover, to deceive her for one night of trouble. So many I've duped in the past, my heart buried. At each of their passings I've just lust or lonely left. My choice is but only death. But as immortal as I am, I can't have that. Snap, 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 end, right? Um, they're not all that short, but they are very uh, detailed. Uh, some of them I don't think I should be reading here online. Some of them are definitely in SFW. But first post for reference, if you recall the date of Reggie's last post, so September 2, 2022, Mea Libertas. And if you follow anything on my channel, you'll note that some of the songs that I've posted previously contain some of the lyrics. So this is Mea Libertas, which is one of the songs. Upon a single lotus leaf, a single drop of water seats. Mother Ayahuasca teached but only one lesson. We are all free. Enclosed minds see not the true light, but only the darkness entreat. A final exam of conscious preparation, libertatem liberem esse, me libertas loti aquae gutae. Saturated tolerance of purely undeniable, unlimited mind. So, snap, 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 right? I think the Psytrance Goa Techno genre was pretty good for that one. I think it came out pretty well. Um, so there's a lot of this. I thought trying to read some of this with the character and the puppet here would be quite fun. I'm a little disappointed with how the mouth is looking, so I'll work on that over time. But I don't want to make this too long, so adieu.